and a super good morning to each and every single one of you. Shall I say good afternoon, because the morning bike ride is done and dusted, and I'm now just walking through the village looking for a couple of spots that don't have wind noise, which is the reason why I didn't record anything on the morning bike ride, because it was windy. Anyway, today, Saturday, the 2nd of September, what can I tell you? Well, as you know, I exceeded the word count target for Monday the 1st, so which means that in order to be able to be on track to hit 60,000 words for the month, today's word count target is a mere 1,995, which, as we know, is exceedingly doable. So my target is to hit the 2,000 and finish editing the video that I recorded yesterday, so that it's up for all of you to be able to have a look at by this evening, which it will be. Anyway, while researching and looking for all these useful tips that come from various famous writers, I landed up on a very interesting genre of YouTube, little specific sub-niche within YouTube that I thought was rather interesting, and that is a sub-niche whereby young writers, in other words young novelists, record themselves or create YouTube videos where they are writing like following the writing schedule, the writing guidelines, for want of a better word, of a famous writer for a day or for a week or something like that. And that got me thinking, how do you guys feel about me shooting a YouTube video, or creating some of these YouTube videos, or aspects of these YouTube videos, whereby I try and do blogging, in other words, write blog posts using the same writing schedule as what a Virginia Woolf used in her heyday when she was writing novels or creating content. What it would be like for a blogger to write on using Virginia Woolf methods. What it would be like for a blogger to write using Stephen King methods, Dan Brown methods. Maybe there might be something that all of us could learn from that process. Let me know down below if you think that's a good idea for me to try and go blogging like Virginia Woolf, or go blogging like Stephen King. Let me know down below, and I'll catch up with all of you later. Sorry about this terrible wind noise. As I mentioned, it's really windy at the moment. Till later, when I'm back in office. Hey, good evening. It is now 10:30 at night, and just about time for me to wrap up, because I'm wanting to get going early in the morning. No bike ride tomorrow, because it is due to be raining all the way through up until about midday, which makes it the perfect morning to get up early, catch a little bit of daylight, get some daylight into my eyes to burn off the excess melatonin and lift my dopamine levels ever so slightly, and get stuck into content creation right from the get-go. And that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. Anyway, speaking of content creation, my target, as I mentioned earlier, my target today was 1,995 words. The word total for the day was 2,662, so beat target once again, which means that I'm well on my way for the Project 24 Content Warrior Challenge. That's 2,662 words on the content writing side, and one YouTube video published on the video side. So I'm definitely 2 for 2 as far as the first 2 days of September are concerned. A little bit of a useful tip from writer Dan Brown, who says that when we're sitting down to blog, write as if nobody is watching, because in reality, nobody is. That's right. If what you are starting to write within your blog post you feel isn't quite 100% exactly as you're wanting it to be, nobody's looking over your shoulder. You're able to change what you've been writing. So write as if nobody's watching, because there is nobody watching over your shoulder. So write the best you possibly can do, and then before you publish, give it 1, 2, I sometimes even give a post that I've written 3 reads over as proofreads to be able to clear up any problems or edit out anything that I've got as far as the post is concerned before I believe that it is ready for publishing. And I don't wait until the post is absolutely perfect before I publish. If it's 80% good enough, then it's good enough for me to hit the publish button. If after about 6 months I see, when I do my battle shipping, that a particular post is getting above average views, in other words, it's getting traffic, then I'll put in the extra 2 or 3 hours to create an infographic or something like that to elevate the post to a higher level. But when I'm sitting down to write, it's write as if nobody is watching you, because nobody is actually watching you write. That's the tip of the day. And then something that I mentioned earlier on, I don't know if you could hear me really clearly because of the wind noise, but with all of these writer tips that I've been looking up and finding, I found a whole little sub-niche of YouTube videos where young writers, young novelists, are doing a session where they are taking a day, or in some cases a week, where they say, I wrote for a day like Stephen King, I wrote for a day like Virginia Woolf, I wrote for a day like Margaret Atwood, I worked for a day like Dan Brown, or whatever the case may be, to see how writing using the same scheduling of content production could maybe elevate their fiction writing game. So I'm just thinking, let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like me to do that from a blogging perspective. Should I pick a day and say, today is the day that I'm going to be blogging in exactly the same way that Stephen King writes his novels? Would you be interested in seeing something like that and me sharing that with you to see how that affects my content production and how quickly or how thoroughly I can get content produced? Let me know in the comments section down below if that's something that you're wanting to see. But in the meantime, I'm needing to shut down for the evening. Before it starts raining too heavily, I need to go downstairs and head out and just take out the trash, because they clear that early in the mornings. So I need to do that and then get myself into bed as soon as possible so that I can hit the ground running in the morning and produce as much content as I possibly can. And I hope that you will be doing exactly the same thing. Have yourselves a good night, and I'll speak to you in the morning.